Thanks for checking out this film review from the Dead Man's Party podcast. You could find our full archive of every unedited show if you subscribe to The Skeleton Crew on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Be sure to support Dead Man's Party on Patreon. Link in the description. Enjoy the review. What's up, guys? This is Dead Man's Party. My name is Al, Thallo's pal. It's November, and we are celebrating Thanksgiving with you. Now we're going to get to two movies that we watched every Thanksgiving, especially the Ghoul. I mean, he would just not stop watching these two movies every Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you may want to explain that to the listeners, why we're doing this in November.
Yeah, so, well, first let me introduce everybody. I just squeezed into Thallo's leather vest for the show. I got to get in mode. And I'm joined by the guy right out of Calabus's swamp himself, Chris. What's up, Chris?
What up? I have no funny lines, sorry.
What up? Okay.
I swear I heard Perseus scream that right before he went into battle.
Yeah.
That's what he said right before he sliced Medusa's head off. What?
What's and you heard him, the guy who just slayed a two-headed dog, the Ghoul.
Wolf.
Call no man happy who is not dead.
See, now that's a line. That's what I was looking for.
Is that what he said when he has that mask on still?
Well, he put it back on to say the line so it sounds scarier.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we're reviewing Clash of the Titans 2010. This is amazing, man. It's so much better than the original.
The CGI is unbelievable. It's so much better than practical.
Who's the guy who was in the 2010? Chris Hemsworth?
Sam Worthington, the dude from Avatar.
Oh, God. He was horrible. Yeah,
Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, great idea shaving your head. Because, you know, a lot of the guys back then had buzz cuts, the electric buzzers.
Do we want to talk about that movie at all?
No, I don't even know why I'm doing this.
I was just going to say, I saw it once. I don't remember a fucking thing about it except the CGI was terrible, and I've never seen it again.
Yeah, I've only caught glimpses of it on, like, if I'm waiting for something to come on, like FX or something, or, like, TNT, and I've caught, like, bits and pieces of it.
Yeah, like, Medusa is awful.
Yeah.
It's all bad. No, we're kidding, guys. Obviously, we're doing Clash of the Titans 1981. Director Desmond Davis. Writer Beverly Cross. Starring Laurence Olivier as Zeus. Harry Hamlin as Perseus. Claire Bloom as Hera. I think that was Zeus's wife. There's a lot of people in this movie.
Yeah.
Let's really pick who I'm going to talk about here. Poseidon? Nah, he was funny, though.
He is funny, yeah.
The way he just stares, yeah.
Both times, like...
He's, like, in amazement.
Yeah, he's a fucking god, and he's blown away by this creature. Yeah.
That just swims out of a cage.
Yeah.
Like, wow, look, he really swam past the door. Amazing. Let's see. Athena, she is not as hot as they... try to make... Oh, no.
Athena's hot.
Yeah, Maggie Smith, Thetis, is the one who thought she's so hot that she was offended when they said this other chick's hotter than her.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I said, my text the other day, I was like, how many movies now have we done where an actor from the movie has died this year? It's like at least 3 or 4 now, which is wild.
Oh, is that who just died when you said that text?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess I missed that.
Well, I was going to say, from my generation, everyone would recognize her from Harry Potter, that's why.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I thought she was in Titanic. Wasn't she Rose's mom?
No.
I can't remember.
She was in that awful British TV series that was popular like 10 years ago that was called Downton Abbey, that people were like losing their shit about.
Yep, yeah,
and
you're right.
It looked like the most boring fucking thing ever made.
I wish they lined up her face better with that statue. I think they kind of messed up the nose a bit. I wish they had it dead on, so it's the exact angle that the statue was sitting, so it would look like it was still cool though. But Papa Roach as Hephaestus.
Papa Roach.
I mean, Pat Roach. What am I reading?
Cut my life into pieces.
Burgess Meredith as Mickey. I mean, Amen.
Yeah, I couldn't have told you what his character's name was if you had a fucking gun to my head right now.
Amen, yeah. Ooh, the Stygian Witches. Flora Robson, Freda Jackson,
And the woman
Anna...
that played the grandma in Willy Wonka.
Yeah. God. Thallow. Tim Pigott-Smith.
God, is he in anything else? That Thallow guy?
He should have been. He was great.
They should have made a spinoff with him.
Oh, God. That would have been great. We could have had, like, his journey as a guard. Like, what went on in that place. Especially when the curse started and all that stuff. Neil McCarthy as Calibus. He was scarier in person than his claymation guy.
I want to see what that guy looks like in real life. I've never looked it up.
Actually, he also died, I think, like, very shortly after this movie came out. I think he died in, like, 84, 85.
Yeah. So he didn't even live to see this become a thing. He never knew that people would watch it every November. Well, maybe it's just me. And Chris.
Oh, yep. That's what my family always did. We'd gather around the TV on Thanksgiving night and watch Clash of the Titans.
Wow. Amazing, man. You are so lucky.
Do you want to give a little backstory, though, to why we're doing this in November?
Yeah, so growing up when I was like 12, 13, whatever, on TNT, they would always like have these holiday decoration things in between commercials of movies, and for whatever reason, I guess maybe 2 years in a row, they played Clash of the Titans around Thanksgiving week, and I guess I might have seen clips one of the times, and then by the next time when I either heard it was coming on or whatever, I got my tape out and I recorded it, and the same thing for the next movie we're doing, the same exact story. It would be the same time of year, same channel, same everything, so that it just became a Thanksgiving thing for me. So once the tapes or DVDs or whatever, now Blu-rays came out, I just watch this every November. I try to do late the last week in November.
Like I said, I'm excited to get into this. This is going to be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about this movie. I mean, there's so many characters in it. We could kind of just, like, travel through the characters and really travel through the movie at the same time. I mean, we could start off with, it's kind of mainly about the gods and goddesses. So, I mean, Laurence Olivier as Zeus. I mean, this guy is badass. I love him.
When he shows up, when Perseus first gets all of his weapons, and he shows up in the shield, he's like, Perseus! Perseus! Like he's almost dying or something.
I'm so glad you said that.
Yeah.
This has bothered me for 30 years. Does it annoy anyone else that when Perseus first is discovering these weapons, the voice they give the shield is like,
Oh, God!
turn me round?
It's so stupid. Why would they do that? You'd think it would be something like more like grand and fucking not demonic, but like
thundering,
really demonstrative. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa! Try me first.
That shit had me fucking rolling. Like when my first time watching, I'm like, what the fuck is going on right now?
What's happening? And then when he talks to him, he's exhausted. What the hell was he doing?
Yeah, they make him look like he's a ghost, too. Like, it just looks so fucking weird.
Perseus. I know you heard me talk goofy a second ago, but man, that took a lot out of me. Listen, guard this shield with your life. Yeah.
Find and fulfill your destiny. Dude, I swear it sounds like he's dying.
Oh.
But he is a god. Not only is he a god, he is the god. All the gods report to him.
Yeah, he's the creator of it all.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, his opening, like, I wouldn't say monologue, I guess, but like that first scene of when they're discussing what to do with, I forget.
Oh yeah, that guy who put the baby in the coffin with the mom in the sea.
I like his like, I guess I for lack of a better term, his cold open there is pretty fucking badass because he just shows that he's no bullshit, no nonsense. He's ready to fucking get down. Yeah,
he wants to destroy the city of Argus with the Kraken. So he releases this thing. It just kind of splashes water on the city.
Yeah, it's really not that I mean, you would think the whole ocean basically should wash over this city, but it's just like, I don't know, it just gets flooded a little bit. It's weird.
I tell they were just dumping buckets of water on the miniature.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's so great though. Like, I love when they try to mix real water and the fake effect water, and they try to blend it to as if this is really happening.
Right.
But I love how, like, Release the Kraken, like, I think he's gonna crawl up there and just start smashing everything like Godzilla or something.
That's what I was expecting as well.
Yeah, he just creates waves.
Yep.
That is it.
That's funny though, because that term "release the Kraken" has kind of integrated itself into pop culture over the years.
Well, the best part is, I was recognizing this today. He doesn't say release; he says let loose the Kraken.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was checking this because I feel like, I don't know if you guys have seen like the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, like at least the first two with Johnny Depp.
I saw the first one. That's it.
Oh well, there's a Kraken in I think the second one. And that's when they say release the Kraken. So people, I think, confuse the two of them, which I thought was funny. I was like, oh, he says let loose is badass.
I would have bet you $50 that they said release the Kraken in this movie.
Fuck,
wow.
I should have. That would have covered my fucking Above the Law Blu-ray.
Uh-oh. Rebuttal.
Yeah, Above the Law Blu-ray. But they do it twice. Are you sure they didn't say release
He
once?
might do it the second time. I just didn't maybe catch it on the other rewatch. But I know the first time he says let loose.
Yeah, and I love how Zeus, like, crutches the guy's statue in his hand, and it just turns to dust, and in real life, he just crunched his bones.
Yeah, I love that.
That was amazing.
Yeah, what's
dude.
with this whole fucking clay toy model thing he's got going on?
Yeah, does it grow as you grow? Like, if you're a baby, is it a baby statue of you, and then it grows with the person?
I guess.
I would assume it kind of molds, or he molds it as time goes on, kind of like how he did to, I know this is jumping ahead, how he does to transform Calibus, yeah.
Yeah.
I love when he transforms Calibus, and Calibus grabs his head, and then all of a sudden his hands become his ears.
His horns, yeah.
Or horns, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so...
I like the idea of him using the models to, like, actually physically control people. I think that's pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But it's weird because... maybe the girl who's mad later, she puts Perseus in that Colosseum, and it's like, so what? You have a model of the entire Earth in that place, and like you found the Colosseum and you put him in there?
Yeah, yeah. She's like, wait, I gotta walk way over here to find the Colosseum and put him down.
Yeah, the girl's pissed off. No, wait, she does that to Perseus because Zeus messed up her son, right?
Yes.
Yes, yeah.
She says, time you see something of the world, Perseus. So instead of putting Perseus back on Seriphus at night, and he could just wake up again in the morning, he lets Perseus go on this journey, which is kind of interesting. He just provides him with the sword, the shield, and the helmet.
Right. Well, he saw Perseus' original sword was like a toothpick.
Yeah.
He was like, he can't go out there with his dick in his hand.
Was he robbing a bank? Yeah, but like I said, I like how he just says to the other woman, he goes, give him Bobo, give him your bird. And he goes, it's my wish, my command.
Yeah, I love the way he says that. It's great.
Oh, I love his whole, like, arrogant, but he's not a horrible guy, but he does have the arrogance about him, and, like, then the way he, like, looks down and looks at you sometimes when he talks to you.
I'm convinced that guy was on set for one day. He was like, you film whatever we need to film, and I'm getting the fuck out of here. Because he was obviously like a very popular actor.
I was going to say he was a big deal, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know that, but the name is familiar, even though I couldn't tell you one other thing he was in. But it sounds famous. I don't know what he did.
Yeah,
but yeah, like at the end though, like Perseus is totally wiped out, and like Zeus just looks around and he like picks up his statue, makes him stand up again, giving him one last jolt of energy, and he just walks away like.
Watching Zeus with those clay figures, did it make you feel like when you were kids and you used to play with your mom's old Barbies, or was I the only one that did that?
I had my own action figure.
I used to rip the heads off my sister's Barbies.
Oh, my mom, when I was like 6, 7 years old, she had all her old Barbies from when she was a kid, and like all the little accessories, like little brushes and all this shit. I used to like line them all out and shit.
Wow, you played with Barbies?
Yeah, and I'd marvel off her.
He had to man up again, right? Is that funny? He had to say, yep, don't worry though, I'm a real man. I always on him, guys. I'm still cool. God, you are unbelievable, man. So, let's go to your favorite boxing trainer, Mickey. His name is Amin in this movie. I like how he makes that big grand entrance when Perseus like lands in his thing, like, "Who are you?"
Dude, that set piece is so sick. I love that. Like
Who are you?
Yeah, he's basically just being Mickey again. Like
It reminded me of the Wizard of Oz, because the Wizard of Oz is hiding behind that big green face, just like Mickey's hiding behind that mask and that big thunderous voice, and then he takes the mask off, and it's this nice little old man,
feeble old man.
Yeah,
it's so funny. Yeah, and I wrote down the Ghoul's quote here: "Call no man happy who is not dead." So he helps Perseus get started. He knows all about Perseus. He's like, yeah, I wrote a play on you. He's like, on me? And he's like, yeah. I was partial to tragedy or something. So, yeah, he's pretty funny. I love when he helps Perseus get Pegasus. Like, he gets that invisible helmet, and he, like, throws the lasso around Pegasus. He acts like he's really doing something, like he's a part of this, and really it's all Perseus doing everything.
Yeah.
It's just so funny, man.
So I had a question about that scene. Whenever Perseus, he puts that helmet on to sneak up to Pegasus, and he's invisible, why isn't the rope invisible? Because Perseus is holding on to it, and everything else on his body, like the clothes and everything he's got on, is invisible. So why isn't that rope invisible?
Shit.
Sorry to bust this fucking movie wide open.
Well, I'll bust it again. So, you know what else is invisible for whatever reason during that scene? Pegasus's wings every time they show the goddamn horse. Because only when it's the far shot and he has the chicken wings on his back, that's the only time that you see that. But once they try to keep, suspend disbelief and they show the real horse struggling to get out of the lasso, there's no wings anywhere to be found.
Wow, I did not realize that.
Can you imagine walking out into your yard and looking up at the sky and there's a horse flying over you?
It was wild.
And they make like it was normal. Like, oh yeah, I had a whole fleet of flying horses until this asshole killed them. He hunted them. Do you know how many of those horses would have had to exist to keep that species going? It would have to be like hundreds of thousands into the millions. And that's why Bigfoot's not real. Because there wouldn't be just one guy walking around that you're looking for. To have a species of any of these things, you'd have to have so many to get through sickness and famine and all this other stuff. You couldn't have 12 of anything.
You don't think one singular Loch Ness monster could survive all these years?
Like, that's the one thing people don't think about. Like, what it really takes to exist.
Yeah.
I just think it's really funny that you're putting, like, these, for lack of a better term, I guess, cryptids who may not even adhere to the laws of human nature or just reality. You're just assuming they have to go through all the perils of a normal race.
Oh, man.
I gotta say, we keep bringing up the invisible helmet. I thought that shit looked really good. Like, especially the first time he put it on. Yeah. I think that special effect is actually really good.
What, with the footprints?
With that, but just with the transition of him just fading, it is very clean. It looks good. Yeah, it's very clean.
Yeah. It's weird that it didn't even, like, benefit him when he was in Calabus's swamp.
True.
Like, that was pretty sloppy work, right?
I was like, imagine Alex with an invisible helmet. Imagine the things he would do.
Oh, dude. You don't want to know the places I'd hang out all day. But, oh, yeah. What do you think of Andromeda? Do you think she's hot?
Yeah, I'm kind of
I'm not saying that she's ugly, but no, I don't look at her and think, oh, I'd like to fucking bend her over. You know what I mean? Like, she's just whatever. But I tell you who I do think is hot in this movie is Danae at the beginning. That's Perseus's mom, right?
Oh, yeah. God, when they're showing her rack?
Yeah.
And her ass?
She's hot.
Dude, they showed everything.
I know. That was a big deal for a little boy like me watching on HBO back in 1982.
And what was this rated? This had to have been PG, right? I was
Yep.
going to say, because there's no PG-13, and there's not going to give this an R.
You could get away, and this was before PG-13 was actually a rating.
Yeah.
And you could get away with a little bit of nudity in PG movie if it was done in the proper way.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah.
But Chris had a rough time looking at that mom. He had to keep pulling himself away from the little boy's ass. But you know what?
I knew someone was going to make the reference. I just thought I was going to say something about it.
Oh, my favorite, though, is the original Superman movie from 78, because after they send Superman to Earth as a baby or a 2-year-old or whatever, and he gets up, he stands up, they show his dick.
What was that rated?
PG, yeah.
So Calibus, he is on Zeus's bad side for killing all his horses. Why wouldn't Zeus do something before you got to the last goddamn horse?
I thought about the same thing. Why would he let it get to that point?
Right.
If he killed 2 of them, I'd be like, yeah, this has to change. Right. He let him go that far. And what would even stop him from killing the last horse? He'd still kill him. He's just uglier now. But he's not going to marry the princess.
And I love how when they show Calibos, when they're not using is it claymation? Is that what we're going to go with for the term, or what is it called?
Stop motion.
Stop motion.
Okay.
I think it's a mix of both, honestly.
Okay. So when they're not showing him in that mode, it's only in close-ups. They don't show like his whole body or anything like that because they can't reproduce the tail and all that shit.
And all that, right?
Well,
yeah, they probably hated shooting the actor for the scenes that they had to do it with, like the close-ups of him talking and all that. I think they preferred the way he looked as the claymation guy.
You're probably right, and I do too, because it just, I mean, not that he looks bad in the regular
flesh.
form, in the flesh, but I don't know. Even though that the stop motion claymation looks, it's by today's standards, it looks wonky kind of. It's still really cool looking the way they pulled it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, my note for him is Calibos is in all caps fucking scary, dude. This guy is nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
But which version of him? When you think, how about this? When you guys think of Calibus, what do you think of?
The stop motion.
Do you? Good.
Oh yeah.
I wasn't expecting to see something like that. I would say, I guess, like the close up of when he's talking to Andromeda in the, I guess, dream or whatever.
Yeah.
That's basically his first, like, when you see him. I think that's nightmare fuel to me. Like, he looks terrifying.
Really?
No, he is.
It reminds me almost of, I'm assuming you guys have seen the Neverending Story before, right?
Yep.
He reminds me of one of the guys at the beginning. I forget his name. He's you'd recognize him I'll send a picture of him later. But there's a guy in Neverending Story, like one of the main people in the beginning, who the nose are kind of similar. And even though that guy in Neverending Story is a good guy, I just thought he looked terrifying. He's just this weird fucking creature that, yeah. But
Wow.
yeah, Calibus, man, that dude's fucking scary. He's fucking like that shit. I was not expecting something that wild.
He's an amazing villain, and it's weird. Like, there's so many in this movie, though. Like the Kraken, Medusa, the two-headed wolf,
Scorpions.
Yeah, the scorpions. Yeah, that's a bizarre thing, right? Like, drops of blood from Medusa's head instantly produce 45-foot-long scorpions in a matter of, like, 90 seconds.
Not even that. Like, fucking 10 seconds, yeah.
Should have been giant snakes.
Yeah, right? Why would it be scorpions? What would her blood have to do with that? It should have been snakes.
Oh, because it's snakes still have venom. So yeah. What the fuck? God damn it! Clash of the Titans, 1981.
And when Medusa, the witches said her head will still turn things to stone even if it's dead. How does Medusa know she's looking at something to turn on like that?
She's a Titan. I don't know.
Like, her head just doesn't always twitch and eyes glow all the time.
Right.
Somehow she could feel the presence of something in front of her that needs to turn to stone.
Don't look at me, motherfucker! Did you notice some of his henchmen almost look like Oompa Loompas, except they're not painted orange?
Yeah, one in particular for sure.
Yeah.
He has that raggy hair. Yeah, and the one guy has the big nose, the big long nose.
Yeah.
That guy is weird, man. He's way too into being creepy.
Yeah. Some of them look like. Did we bring up? Someone brought up the Sentinel on our list show, right?
Right.
Yeah, Chris. Did some of those people in Calabas as like little minions? Did some of them remind you of the people at the end of the Sentinel?
Oh yeah, dude.
Perseus should have never taken pity on this guy because it cost Thallo his life.
I was actually shocked to reveal when he said all he did was cut off his hand and he spared him. Big mistake. Yeah.
Mercy is for the weak, dude.
Absolutely.
You should have just killed him. Like, I spared his life on one condition, that he renounce his curse. Number one, that's pointless. There is no more curse. You know the answer. It's done. So he didn't have to lift the curse. The answer was the 2 moons and the ring, the hollow crown. That's the quiz thing. Like,
the answer is a ring.
It's so bizarre that he says I spared his life that he would lift his curse. Like, no, you could have killed him and still came here with that answer, and you'd still marry this chick.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
And now Thallo's dead. My favorite character in the movie.
And Thallo, he is cool. He seems like a dude you'd want to hang out with for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like I haven't looked this up at all, so I don't know if this is like a thing. I'm sure it is, but like in the terms of like pop culture, this movie is kind of just like it's very similar to OG Star Wars.
Oh yeah? How do you figure that?
So you got Perseus is Luke Skywalker, the guy learning his heroic heritage, going to become, warrior. The princess is Princess Leia. Thalos is Han Solo.
Wow.
Bibu is both R2-D2 and C-3PO combined.
Wait, who?
I forget what the fuck is the
Bubo.
name. Bubo, yes.
Yeah.
Is those 2 robots combined. Calibos is Darth Vader.
Wow.
And then you have this like sprawl like you guys that was like when I was like halfway through it, I was like, this is Star Wars, like, which I'm not saying is a bad thing.
What do you think of Greek mythology? I was kind of obsessed with it growing up. Like, when I was 12, 13, 14, I was way in, probably because of this movie, I'm sure, but I got into, like, Greek mythology at the time. Like, that, to me, I can't believe we don't have a lot of movies like this. Like, using all this imagery and, like, these characters and these stories and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it bizarre that there's only, like, a handful of these?
Even though I loved this movie as a kid, other than this movie, I was never really sucked into that whole, like, subculture of Greek mythology or anything like that.
I don't think you had a way to be.
This is the extent of my knowledge of Greek mythology.
Right.
Yeah, I'm like, spotty here or there. Same thing with like Roman mythology and stuff like that. But also, like, as far as even like movies like this, I'm not like a huge, like, I guess you would classify this as kind of like a fantasy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not really huge into like fantasy movies, like sword and shield movies, because as you guys know, I prefer my movies to be fought with guns and explosions and such.
So you're not a Lord of the Rings fan?
I actually like those original 3 movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But also, those came out when I was a kid, so that was like, it's like a nostalgia thing. But I would say, like, I'm not going to give away my rating, but I like this. This, Lord of the Rings, Conan the Barbarian, I guess, would count.
So against all odds, this is like one of those movies that the two of you, although wouldn't particularly dive into the genre, this you hold pretty high up.
Yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. And it's weird. Like, you don't have to. Like, dude, I wish I could tell you the genre. I wish I could tell you 20 of these movies.
Yeah, I was going to say, what else is there out there, like, as far as Greek movies? Well, there's one from 2010 called Clash of the Titans, and there's one from 2012 called Wrath of the Titans.
Wait, they made a sequel to that one?
Yeah, Wrath of the Titans.
God.
Yeah, I don't remember a goddamn thing about it, though. Nothing. I saw each of them once.
Wait, so was the original, this one, Clash of the Titans, was this supposed to be, like, a whole, like, set of movies, or was it just supposed to be this one? Like, is there, like, something, that, like, is this based off, like, a book or something?
That I don't know, but...
Yeah, did they take all these Roman, like, Greek mythology characters and just dump them in one epic movie? Or is this a story?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Because, like, now that you're saying that there was the sequel, I'm like, I wonder, was there supposed to be more? That would have been wild.
Yeah, did Perseus, like, do all this stuff in real life? Or, you know, in their stories?
You would have thought they would have made a sequel if that was the case, because this movie was very popular. So
yeah, true. Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
I don't know how they didn't make a sequel. That's really weird. Oh, I wrote the real guy, yeah, with Calibus, I said, ugly as hell, real guy uglier than the stop-motion version.
What's the guy's name again? The actor?
Oh, I don't know. I forgot.
I'll look it up. I need to see this. Neil McCarthy?
Yeah. No, he looks okay. Well, he's ugly, but obviously uglier.
So they definitely didn't have to do much work on his jawline for the makeup. That's all him.
Well, I'm looking at some things more like this. The Beastmaster, Flash Gordon, Conan the Barbarian, Legend, Excalibur, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. See, that was probably... I think if you really want more of this, you should watch The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. And I know that Jason and the Argonauts should be here. You got Dragon Slayer, Krull.
Krull! I can picture that box art perfectly, but I never saw the movie.
Me too. I never saw it, but I can
It's
picture
got
the
a
art.
badass cover, though. I don't know why I never watched it.
I know, the cover's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad is something you might want to check out. If
There was another movie that was filmed in this style. It's
Jason
called
and the
Jason the
Argonauts.
Argonauts, yeah. My buddy Gary watched that, I think as a kid, but I know he rewatched it within the last, 3 or 4 years, and he really likes it, but I've never seen it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Now, did Sinbad do The Golden Voyage of Sinbad before or after Jingle All the Way?
Before. Jingle, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Imagine if that guy was in there. So anyway, this whole movie, do you realize that this whole movie is pretty much set into motion just because Andromeda's mom said that she's hotter than Calibus's mom? She now is gonna kill the daughter. She's gonna kill her for that.
Yeah, that makes sense, because how many, even in real life, how many stories of violence and such do you see that are started by just petty comments about people's physical appearance or jealousy and shit like that? Jealousy that's kind of the whole theme is jealousy.
Right. First, this is all because the gods. It's funny. So Calibus gets punished. Now he's ugly as hell. Nobody wants to marry him. So in turn, the mom puts the curse on the place, right? And now the suitor has to answer these questions, and I guess she gives Calibus the answer, then he gives Andromeda the answer. I don't know. And then from there, she says she's hotter than
Fetus or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So then she says, "Okay, now your daughter's gonna die. She's gonna be sacrificed on the rocks." So
let me cut in real quick. I do like that speech she gives after the statue head falls off and she's laying down there. I actually word for word typed it out because I actually like her delivery and what she says. It sounds really cool. So just give me a few seconds to read this. She says, "In 30 days, on the eve of the longest day of the year, your daughter Andromeda must be taken to the sacrificial rock at the edge of the sea. There, bound and chained to the stone, she must be unknown to man, a virgin, a sacrifice suitable for the Kraken. She must be delivered to the Kraken at the setting of the sun." And something about her whole delivery and that whole thing just sounds so ominous and just there's nothing anybody can do about it. This is what's going to happen. And if you don't, all of Joppa is gone. If that didn't happen, she was going to destroy the whole city of Joppa. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I agree. I think that speech is pretty badass. Plus the way she looks, like you were talking to earlier. Are you guys familiar with the Haunted Mansion?
What, that Eddie Murphy movie?
Well, it's a Disney thing, but no, there's the character in it called Madame Leota.
No.
And she's like a floating head in a crystal ball. It's very similar in tone to that. It's pretty cool.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't support Disney. Well, yeah, I like how they projected her face onto the statue. Like I said, the nose could have been a little better angled, but yeah, it was cool.
It was a cool effect, though. I was really paying attention to it on this watch, and I thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. So Calibus steals Pegasus, so that Perseus can't use him on the journey. He's like, to Pegasus, 7 days will be 7 hours or whatever. And they go to get him and he's gone. Why didn't Calibos just kill Pegasus? And like when Perseus got there, he would just see the horse dead on the ground. Why hold him hostage?
Especially when he's trying to get the rope on him. I'm like, he only has one fucking hand. How effective is that going to be?
Right. Yeah, what is that thing they put after he gets his hand cut off? What would you call that thing on there? A fucking...
Oh, the prong?
A prong? Okay.
Yeah. That was cool. I guess it's better than a hook.
Yeah. So, side note, I work with a lady, an older lady. She's probably in her mid-60s. She's got a brother. Both of his hands are hooks. Both hands.
Oh my god.
Why?
He was in some kind of factory accident when he was younger and lost both of his hands.
Why are you laughing, dude?
That's terrible.
Can you imagine seeing someone with two fucking hooks?
How does he,
It's like seeing a fucking dog with 4 peg legs.
Oh, like Odie?
Yeah.
That's a one too many peg legs there. You should tell him that's one too many hooks there.
Oh my god, that's wild.
Oh, yeah, dude. What a life.
Right?
Imagine jacking off.
Well, that was my question. I was like,
Oh,
how's he satisfy himself?
it's very bloody.
You don't think he just wraps it in a steak and just like goes to town on steaks?
What the fuck?
Well, dude, you gotta think of something at that.
How is that where your mind goes to? Wrap it in a steak?
What are you gonna do? Put a hole in a watermelon or something? Like, you have to put it somewhere. It's gotta go somewhere.
No, just a fucking steak, though. That's just fucking...
Because it's meat. You could use chicken breast. I don't know. Whatever you
Oh,
want.
God.
You could city fuck chicken breast.
Never, ever, ever in the history of podcasting has someone mentioned masturbating with a steak.
I doubt that. Oh, man.
That was amazing.
So how about the 3 witches? I know that's the Ghoul's favorite part. So his whole life, all he ever did was look up YouTube clips of these women. Now you finally get to see him in context.
I only ever did because when you referenced on Banana Laser, I think the Halloween Returns episode, that you love witches, and I was like, oh shit, the same thing. And then you had mentioned the Stygian witches, and I was like, I gotta look this shit up. And that's what I'd never seen the movie, but I'd seen this clip several times. So
the reason he goes there is because Burgess Meredith's character tells him that he thinks he knows a way to defeat the Kraken.
Right.
And he must go visit the Stygian witches, basically.
No, he said he doesn't know, but he thinks he knows someone who might know.
Knows someone who knows, right. And he would have to go visit the Stygian witches, right. I just love their whole journey to get to that place. It's awesome.
And I like when Thallo even knows about them. He's like, but that might be even more dangerous than facing the Kraken himself.
Right.
And he's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, they have an appetite for men. So then, like, when they go in there and the hand comes out of the stew pot.
And you hear, like, that gurgling sound.
Yeah.
He's still alive.
She, like, shoves it back down.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, if he's trying to get out, just him feeling you push on his hand, that'll make him stop trying to survive.
I love how they can only see through like this baseball size glass ball. These bitches are blinder than Michael Myers at the end of Halloween 2 when Laurie shoots his eyes out.
He's only doing this because he knows we pre-recorded other shows and that's still going to go on. So he said, well, I'll fill out the year. Unbelievable, because he knows it's happening in January. I already told him. So now people are going to be like, when will this stop if it didn't stop with their Halloween 2 review?
Amazing.
So
he's like, Bobo.
Bubo! You guys keep fucking the name up. It's Bubo.
Hey, in my defense, I've only seen the movie twice.
You call it Bebo. He's called it Bobo.
Bebo said. Bebo. The Ghoul messes names up sometimes in the best ways, man.
Yeah.
Oh, you're one to talk, dude. Are you shitting me?
I do last names. No, he... Never mind. Okay. So...
Oh.
In my defense, I just saw this movie 24 hours ago, all right?
Beeboo. So he goes, Beeboo, now. And these women have no idea what the sound or what's happening. So then he goes, Beebo's so stupid that he goes, dumbass, the eye. Go for the eye. And now they know exactly what's happening. Like, wait a minute. Like, how stupid is this owl? Didn't he know the plan? What is he just flailing all around for? Go for the eye, you asshole.
Right, you were made by a god. What the fuck are you doing, you dumb fucking bird?
I have to spell it out because he was trying to do like
the
a
eye.
Loomis
They
thing.
can only see with the eye. Go for the fucking eye, you fucking battery-powered piece of shit.
Because he was doing the Loomis like, oh, get out now, oh, like,
Kwang-na.
yeah, get out now. What? Why don't Michael hear me saying this? Just go. So that's what just happened here with Boobo.
There you go.
Boobo.
Oh fuck.
Ooh.
I like how when Perseus first walks in their lair and they're the ones looking through the eyes, she goes, "What do you see?" And he goes, and she says, "Yes, a young man, not plump but well made." Like they were fucking like rubbing their clits watching him walk in.
Ugh, dude, you're so gross. So he asks for information how to defeat the crack, and they start laughing at him. Like, he has your crystal eye. Do you really think now's the time to be openly mocking him?
Right, yeah.
He could just smash that thing against the wall if you test his patience. So he tells them, they tell him to get Medusa's head at the Isle of the Dead.
Yeah, I like how she says it. She goes, "The head of Medusa, the Gorgon."
A titan against the titan.
Oh, I love the way she says that. I've told you this in text weeks ago, but when I was a kid and they used to show this on HBO and they would do the 30-second promos.
Oh, they would have that, yeah.
That line was in every time, so it was just seared into my brain, her raising her fist to the sky and yelling that line. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
The eye.
And she says, at the edge of the underworld.
Very edge of the underworld. It sounds so creepy and ominous.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
I guess we gotta get to the settings at some point, so let's just talk about them. Like, so how do you feel they brought that to life? Was that creepy to you when, like, they go to the ferryman and he, like...
dude, stop right there. When they walk out to that riverbank or what sea...
The river
beach,
Styx.
whatever the fuck it is, and they look out there and Thallo flips him a coin. He goes, "You'll need this for Charon, the ferryman." And then they turn around and that fucking boat just kind of appears out of nowhere, out of the fog, and slowly rowing towards him. And then you see it's like a skeleton, and he turns and sticks his hand out and slowly opens it up like that. And they drop the coin in it, and then he like closes his fingers back up. That is amazing.
Yeah, I love that shit. So fucking cool.
Amazing, dude.
So fucking cool.
Just that cloak he's wearing and that boat, and he's just that rickety stick he's using to row with. God.
As a kid, I thought way too much about that guy.
The ferryman?
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite characters in this movie, even though he's only in it for like a minute.
Yeah.
Well, no, I would think of things like, wow, so what was he doing before they got there?
Fishing.
Like, did he see them? And what does he spend that money on? Who does he exchange it with for good?
Hookers.
I was wondering, when he turned around, where did he put that money? So many things. How did he, there's a million questions you could ask about a skeleton with a cloak on.
He put it in a safe that he could only open with a skeleton key.
Wow. My God. And how did he get that job? Did he, apply for that? Does he have a boss that he's trying to avoid?
I would like to see his extensive resume.
I need to know everything about this guy.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous.
Oh. How did he get that job?
Wait, is he saving up for anything?
He really wanted to go back to college.
What if they needed change? Like, what if the coin was too much for the ride?
Oh my god.
Oh. They should have had him say, I only take plastic.
American Express, MasterCard, that's it.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's too funny. Yeah, if I could have figured out how to change my background like you guys did, mine probably would have been that shot of him right when he gets to the dock. Just so fucking good.
So fucking awesome. God, that fog over the water and all that shit.
Oh.
Yeah. So they fight the three-headed wolves, or dog, whatever. So Medusa has the green eyes. She has that evil bitch look. She has nice tits, though.
Oh, thank you. I had that in my notes. Did you see her tits?
Yeah, they're a nice handful. Any more than a handful, you're risking a sprained thumb.
I thought he said tongue. Does he say thumb?
A sprained thumb.
Oh, shit. All these years, I thought he said tongue.
Oh, on Weird Science?
Yeah.
A sprained tongue?
Yeah, that's just what I thought he said. That makes sense,
funny.
though, since he said more than a handful.
Yeah.
Wow, I always thought it was tongue. Holy shit. We got to get Neil on the horn here and talk about this part.
Let's get him back, see what he thinks.
Amazing.
I just like the look of Medusa's lair, just the lighting in there, that fucking red glow on the walls,
Yeah.
the torches, all that shit. It's amazing. And then she comes like crawling out from behind the wall and stuff.
And she has that snake rattle at the end of her tail.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I think, like, honestly, the Stygian witches, I'm very much looking forward to them when I was going into this, but I think this Medusa's lair scene might probably be my favorite scene from this movie.
She takes the cake. Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
And they're using real fire in the torches too, and everyone's like really like just drenched in sweat there too. It's fucking like you can feel the tension.
Yeah. Fucking Perseus's body was just glistening, man.
I wanted to get a spring tongue on his chest.
Fuck you.
I would have licked his chest and my tongue was sprained.
Oh my God.
Dude, but there was this viewing when I watched it, I had the volume up kind of high, and there was like a jump scare because it's dead fucking quiet, and this arrow comes out of nowhere and drills that dude in the back, and he screams and falls in that water. Just that whole sound, I was like, whoa! I mean, I knew it was coming, but it was just like really jarring, the audio of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was so quiet.
This was shot really well. I might have even jumped. I feel like I did recall something like that at that time. This was just so good. It's funny when Ghoul mentioned like her compared to the witches. I would sit at a round table one day and just rank all these characters. Like I would almost feel guilty about doing it because I love them all so much that I would feel horrible about placing 1/5 or 1/8 or whatever. Like. They're all so good. It's weird, right? Like there's no lame ass characters here in this whole movie. And I think that's why it holds a test of time. Like I guess the dogs are the least, but
even that was still cool. I like the dog scene. We skipped over that. I love that scene when the guards laying on the ground with the shield over them, and then you see the two heads trying to get over, and the sounds they're making. It sounds like a combination of like wild pigs and dogs. You're like,
yeah. I thought it was dope too. Even before they even come out, you see their red eyes glowing in the dark.
Oh yeah, remember that?
That's just fucking awesome.
Yep. And then they just come fucking bursting out of there. Yeah, that's awesome. And then Perseus comes running out of nowhere, leaps over and just fucking jolts that one right in his fucking neck, and his head instantly drops and starts swinging. Yeah. That's awesome. And then he fucking slices that other one, and it goes on its back legs, careening over the edge of that thing.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, when that one dog's head swinging, he looks like Marilyn Manson singing the Apple of Sodom.
Ooh, you're right.
He's like,
yes! God, what a video, dude.
Oh, man, with the snow coming down.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess those dogs were Medusa's guards or something, but I don't even know how she assigned them. Because if she went to tell them to go do that, she probably would have turned them to stone.
And what was the deal with the boa constrictor around the sword? I mean, that was kind of like, well, whatever. It's not like a king cobra. Boa constrictor, you just kind of like have to reach around its head.
Yeah.
They're not venomous. It's not like a quick strike thing where it's going to kill you.
It was just a tension builder.
Just to delay Perseus being able to get to the sword. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he would have made short work of them.
Right.
Just like Nick Castle would have if he was Michael Myers in Halloween 2.
Halloween 2. What up, Gary?
No, Nick, Dick. So how about when she's coming over and Perseus cuts her head off, dude?
Oh, God. The music, the score is fucking amazing.
And then the blood just gushes out of her body, out of the neck.
Yeah.
And her fucking headless body's just writhing around. She scratches that concrete, like the pillar, and leaves the fucking fingernail marks on there. It's amazing.
So I'm always a huge fan of like the trope of like someone having to use like a reflection to like tell where the bad guy is. I love that. And like the payoff, like you guys have the music and just the way he fucking cuts her head off. Oh, it's so badass.
It's funny how they allowed, like, we couldn't see Jeff and Sandra's death in Friday 2. We couldn't see anybody's death, Scott hanging upside down, but you can have buckets of gushy blood pouring out of Medusa's neck after her head gets chopped off, clearly on screen. Like, it's weird how they picked and chose what was allowed and how much gore you could see in what context in these days, you know? Because this was the same year as Friday the 13th Part 2.
Part 2,
How
yeah.
weird is that?
Right.
And Halloween 2.
Yep.
you guys got the reference, and now the new bit is everyone gets a reference. Well, in your context of that, I think what the issue was, I think a lot in the 80s was, because I know Medusa's blood is still red, but it's because she's a creature, it doesn't count, versus if you're seeing a human, you know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
So I know in Evil Dead 2, I think they had to make them change the color of the blood because it was too excessive, and that was going to be like, yeah, shit like that. It's just so nitpicky and dumb.
Right.
But I'm glad we got it for this movie because it's just fucking badass.
Yeah. Now, Chris, when Medusa got her head chopped off, what other movie does that remind you of?
Shit.
We just reviewed it last week, man. Marked for Death.
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, when he cut Screwface's head off.
So the reason I made that reference just now to Marked for Death is because when I was preparing that show, I listened to some of it, and then in Marked for Death, Chris goes, "Now, Alex, what does that remind you of when he cut Screwface's head off?" And I was like, I don't know. And you were like, Medusa from Clash of the Titans. And to me, that was so obscure of a reference.
Do I really?
Yeah, so I decided to reverse it on you.
When did we do that? Back in May?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, my God. 6 fucking months ago by the time that review comes out. Unbelievable.
Wild.
People are probably like, man, I thought they were getting good, but they're sucking again.
Where's all the action movies?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. So, yeah, how about the shot where Perseus just holds her head up and you see, like, the whole thing behind him, like the pillars?
He staggers out there. You can tell he's just, like, totally spent, but he holds her head up, like, to the gods, like, I did it, motherfuckers.
Yep. So now they're all, like, passed out, sleeping, and this pussy Calibus, like a coward, attacks these guys in their sleep. Like, he stabs the it's weird. There's so many things around, but he decides to stab a sack hanging from a tree branch. He has no idea what's in there.
Well, apparently he did.
Did he?
I'm sure word spread that Perseus killed Medusa, and was keeping her head in a bowling ball bag.
How would he even know that stabbing and having the blood drip would do anything? Only the witch says... He goes, how about her blood after her death? A venomous poison or whatever she says.
Yeah.
Like, what a weird question. I'd be like, her blood? I don't know. Why would I know? She's alive. I don't know what her blood does when she's fucking dead.
That's true.
Like,
why would anyone know about her blood? I doubt she'd ever been injured before.
Because Medusa was a regular person, right? Who was cursed into looking like this?
Right. Although they don't go into that in this movie, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not like she's a species that everyone knows what they all do.
Right.
Yeah, there's not like multiple Medusas.
I don't know. Yeah, weird. So like a pussy, he goes... What if when he stabbed that bowling ball bag hanging from the tree, what if he stabbed her eyes? then the whole mission would be shot, right?
Oh, I never thought of that. What happens if you stab Medusa's eyes out?
Right.
Oh, shit.
Then none of this would have worked.
So I just looked this up. It says, in Greek mythology, Medusa's origins include being the daughter of primordial sea gods, a priestess in Athena's temple, and a victim of Poseidon's violation.
Ooh.
He violated her.
Medusa was the only mortal of the three. She was once a beautiful maiden who served as a priestess in Athena's temple. Medusa was violated by Poseidon, the god of the sea, within the sacred confines of Athena's temple.
That guy who stares all the time?
And this is the final part. In response to Poseidon's violation, Athena transformed Medusa into a hideous creature with venomous snakes for hair and a gaze that could turn anyone to stone. So because she fucked Poseidon, she got turned into this thing.
Wow. Like you like to joke, just like Tong Po, even though she was violated. But in her eyes, she fucked this guy. Yeah, she was raped. She didn't mean to do it, you idiot. What are you turning into a fucking snakehead for? So, yeah, this son of a bitch kills my buddy Thallo, man. Again, another cowardice move. He stabbed him in the back. He stabbed him right in the spine.
Oof.
What a scumbag. So Bubo breaks into Calibus's lair. Pegasus starts freaking out. His wings go flapping. The whole fucking place burns down. How weird is that? So those guys are waiting for Calibus to come back. They have no idea that he's never coming back.
Right, yeah.
And then the whole place gets burned down. Anyway.
Good, fuck him.
Right? It's like, I thought of it in like a weird way the last time I watched. Because now I'm watching like a little more analytically. But yeah, it doesn't matter anyway, because Calibus was never coming back anyway.
So how sad are you every time that Calibus kills Thallo?
Oh, it's horrible. And what I love about it is that that's the only guy Perseus cares about.
Right.
He goes down and, like, checks on him.
He basically sacrificed himself for Perseus. He grabbed the stone and went, Perseus! And then fucking launched the sword over there. Then immediately he gets fucking bull-whipped.
Why did Thallo have to get killed, right? Weird. Like, all the nameless guards, who gives a damn? But you have us meeting this guy, talking about the blood-gutted marsh flies, and he just gives Perseus all this information for absolutely no reason. And it always comes off as humorous to me. Yeah, so at this point, that's when, like, Zeus gives Perseus that extra boost of energy by just standing him up, that little clay thing. And then we get to this chick chained to the rocks. The Kraken comes out. The god of the sea stares at him again, and he gets Pegasus gets right up in this thing's face, and he just like claws him down, knocks out the horse. Then Bobo grabs the head, gives it to Perseus.
Fucking Bobo.
Boobo. So yeah, he turns this thing to stone. It's turned to stone so much that it starts cracking. See what I did there? And it falls apart.
Well, do you want to talk about the Kraken real quick? Like, do you think it looks cool, or were you underwhelmed, or what?
No, I thought he lived up to the big thing about it.
I like it because before you see it in its full form, you see the one hand come behind the rocks, then you see another hand, and then you see a third hand, and then it's like, oh shit, this thing's got like more than two arms, and then it fully stands up. I mean, it's cool for sure. They did a really good job with the stop motion for this one, I thought.
Yeah, the one guy has no hands, and this thing has like 5 of them.
Right.
Some people have all the luck. I liked it. I thought the look of it was cool, but I was kind of underwhelmed because the unfortunate part that it doesn't like get to actually like
it doesn't really do anything. Yeah.
Yeah, like you're saying, I was kind of expecting like a Godzilla kind of thing, but
they kill it off pretty quickly.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, what would have been better, like, if he picked up Andromeda and was gonna, like, put her in his mouth, and then she was facing towards him, and then Medusa could look at him, then you could do it right before he eats her?
Right.
That would have been a little more exciting, right?
Kind of like King
Eats that
Kong.
pussy.
Yeah, so I mean that's Clash of the Titans in a nutshell. I mean, we couldn't get into it, but I think we're good now.
Yeah, we needed a nice brisk review.
Yeah. So I guess what's the last thing you want to really brush over? The sets. I mean, I love. It's not amazing, but where the gods hang out and stuff is cool. I just think they dressed everything up really nice. Like, everything was totally fulfilling. It was shot in real locations.
Oh, yeah. Every scene had its own feel, like where the gods were, Medusa's lair, the Colosseum in Joppa when Perseus first appeared there, the Stygian witch's place. Everything felt very unique from each other. So I thought they did a damn good job with the sets.
Yeah.
The Isle of the Dead.
Yeah, a good amount of my notes were story and visuals, like effects and stuff like that, and it was just all about how cool everything looked. And like the stop motion / claymation was convincing for a lot of the monsters. Even taking myself out of it, because honestly, like we said, CGI fucking blows. Like, and you can tell way more when CGI doesn't work than you can when a stop motion or a claymation thing doesn't work. I thought a lot of this stuff was, for a movie made in 1981 compared to the shit that is good that we get now, this shit fucking just trumps a lot of modern any special effects. So I thought a lot of the set pieces were awesome.
It just, the effort it takes for stop motion.
Yeah.
Incredible work. That takes so much time.
Yeah, you gotta frame each little movement. Yeah, each little movement.
I cannot even imagine the amount of work that went into making something like this. It's just asinine, dude.
Imagine you're in charge of moving around Medusa's snakes on her head, and you keep
Oh my God.
doing it, right? And then all of a sudden they play it back like, nah, you didn't move them right. And you're like, I just spent
Oh my god.
5 days on this. Then you have to go move them again. Now move them so they flow like that, not like this. I want them to like go out and do that. Like, there's so much to talk about. I don't even know how you can get this done in a timely manner.
Right.
Yeah.
Or how you could like move the statues of these things to...
Like, you literally could, I would assume, only move them like millimeters at a time to get an authentic, semi-authentic look on film.
Yeah.
And frame by frame, and they're fighting people.
Yeah.
Like, how do you even choreograph this with the timing of it all?
Yeah. That Medusa sequence must have been the hardest fucking thing to make.
And look, there are moments, like when they're fighting the scorpions, they're clearly, like, it's a screen behind the actors and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
But hey, what are we, we can't get that picky here. But, oh, yeah.
You know, like in The Walking Dead, they'll CGI blood and it looks terrible. Like, I'll take like the matte, and I agree that I like that show, but I'll take like the matte painting and the imposed characters on this over that kind of stuff any day.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It's, something else. Yeah, so...
Well, at least Thallo went out cutting up that scorpion like a fucking samurai before he got killed.
And when he cuts one of its like fucking little claws off, that shit's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Sometimes I watch and I focus on him, and I'm like, so what did he do this whole movie? I think he did a lot more than fucking what's his name in Mark for Death.
Keith David.
Yeah, Keith David.
Oh yeah.
Seagal shut him down, dude.
Yep.
He did nothing. We hit nothing. Yeah, so, no, Thallo does a lot here. These guys are great. And let's give it to Harry Hamlin. I mean, he's carrying this entire movie.
We didn't really talk about him a lot, I feel like, but I thought he did a fucking amazing job in this role.
Well, we did indirectly. We did talk about everything he did, but we didn't really praise him in any way. But
Right. No, I thought he was amazing.
Oh, that shot of him in the very beginning when they show him like aging and he stands up on the horse while holding the two. Dude, that was wild. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way he sucked his mom's tits. That was hot, man.
It's like, I just need to try to remember when I was like a baby. Do you mind if I try on the actress?
And when he was staring at his mom's ass on the beach.
Can I walk behind instead of holding hands?
Yeah. Lead the way, Mom.
And I don't know if I ever saw him in another movie. I mean, I know he was in other stuff, but I don't know if I ever saw anything that he was in.
Yeah, I looked up his credits as well last night. I don't really think it's weird because I feel like I've heard his name associated with other things, kind of like Laurence Olivier, but I've just never seen any of it.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right, how many coins are we giving Charon the Ferryman to travel across the Isle of the Dead at the edge of the underworld for Clash of the Titans 1981 out of 5? Cool, let's hear you since you have never seen this movie before.
All right. So I've now seen this twice in 24 hours, which doesn't matter when this comes out.
He'll have seen it 28 times by then.
Yeah, a couple more times because I don't have a single negative note in my notes.
Wow! Yes!
Everything I wrote down was literally I was writing fucking sick, fucking cool. This is fucking awesome. And also it gave me that thing that I told you guys. I now know where that vulture noise in that Mobb Deep song comes from, and
I gotta listen to that.
yeah.
Oh yeah, we didn't talk about the vulture that brought her to the marsh,
Right, yeah, I was
the
gonna say
swamps.
that's another cool thing. The vulture, like, is
Yeah, how about that? That was weird.
really cool, but it now gave me that. I'm like, holy shit, I've been wondering this for like maybe 12, 13 years where they got that terrifying vulture noise from. Yeah, I don't have a single negative note on this. Everything is just all hype, and I'm not even doing this to be a kiss ass. Yo, 4 out of 5, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wasn't. I mean, I figured you'd like it. I just wasn't sure like how some of
Yeah.
that stop motion shit would hit you.
It did not. I was like actually like really impressed with how.
Really?
Yeah.
Good. Cool.
Yeah. Oh man.
I'm trying to think when they stopped using that type of special effect. I mean, they still do with shit like Corpse Bride and all those movies that,
Yeah.
but I feel like even those, they haven't made a movie like that in a while.
Yeah, that was 2005, so that was like almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, and then they made that, what was it called, Coraline or Coraline or something?
Yeah, I've never seen that.
People love that movie, but I've
They
never
do.
seen it either.
Yeah.
Sweet Coraline. Oh,
Yep, that's it.
oh.
Yep.
Wow, 4 out of 5?
Yeah, man.
Amazing, dude. So glad you really liked it.
That's awesome.
I am going to watch this at least 2 or 3 more times this month.
Wow. Are you going to make this a Thanksgiving tradition or just a regular movie during the year?
Well, the funny part is I watched it on Halloween.
Oh, wow.
So it kind of like, especially like with all the creature stuff, it kind of worked. But this will probably be, I think, I'm looking for a new November tradition, so I think this might have to replace it.
If you don't have one.
Yeah,
Now you do.
now that this is this podcast was my November tradition, so
Yeah, and now you got to make next week's yours too. Yeah. So, Chris, how many coins are you giving Charon the Ferryman out of 5 for Clash of the Titans, 1981?
I've always loved this movie. I'm not going to sit here and say it's always been one of my like all-time favorites, but my interest level and love of this movie has never wavered. It's always been like not at the very top of like my favorite stuff, but on that next echelon down. Every time I watch it, it's incredibly nostalgic. I just have those memories of sitting in front of our old fucking 25-inch tube TV when I was 6, 7, 8 years old and watching it on HBO back when they used to show the same movie like twice every day. And I would just sit there and watch it over and over and over. The effects just enamored me when I was a kid, just everything about it. I'll be honest though, at this point in my life, let's say over the last 15, 20 years, I probably only watch it like once every 4 years, maybe, which isn't bad. I mean,
That's not bad.
it's enough. I mean, I'm still interested enough to keep it semi-regular, but it's not like an annual watch, but still. I will give The Ferryman 4 out of 5 coins for this movie.
Wow, nice. Yeah. In all the years I've been watching, it never changes. It's just always this solid experience. And, as technology has moved on, I don't get turned off by the stop motion or anything. Like, it doesn't age poorly or anything. It's a really weird thing that way. It's almost like it's kind of like a timeless thing. It doesn't really. I mean, listen, if I were to show this to a 14-year-old kid or something, they might be like, "Well, this is weird." Like, come on, man, this ain't real. You could tell these things aren't real or whatever. Like, yeah, I guess they would say something like that. But I don't know. Like, you could say that. It doesn't matter that I was watching it in 1991. I guess the only difference is, like, I have nothing better to compare it to. But honestly, when I see a King Kong movie or a Godzilla movie today, they don't look real.
Right, yeah.
It's not like I really believe I'm looking at King Kong swing or jump off a building to another. Like, I don't think any of this is real. Or like these superhero movies, I don't look at those and be like, wow, it looks like he really did that, or like, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So I think there's always that suspension of disbelief, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think it holds here too. So
well, even according to you, its own remake.
Like, its own remake isn't even better.
Ghoul, you have to watch that and give us your opinion on that.
The remake of Clash of Titans?
Yes.
It's funny because I really actually like Sam Worthington, so I will suspend my disbelief in my love for that actor going into it. But yeah, I'll give it a shot at some point.
I was trying to make a pun about Worth. I can't do it.
He's not worth a ton.
He's not worth a ton in that movie. Something like that, yeah.
Nice.
But, yeah, I have to go with a 5 out of 5. This is a bigger to me than to you guys, obviously. And I love watching it in November, man. It's just perfect. I'm so glad I found that little spot for it, or it was given to me or whatever. But so glad we reviewed this. This is an amazing movie. I'll watch it every year the rest of my life, I'm sure. There are times I did skip a year, but generally. Yeah. And I will be watching Willy Wonka from the beginning from now on.
and ironically, I don't think.
Yeah, I can't believe that, dude. You missed all the Cokie Joe parts.
I know.
Uncle Joe. I just listened. I had a screen recording of that from when I listened to it. And you were calling him Uncle Joe, and I finally was like, Uncle Joe, and you were like, what I call him, Uncle Joe? And we started laughing. And you were like, Creepy Joe, Cokie Joe.
Dude, check out what's in my hand right now.
What is it? I can't.
Joe's Lemonade.
Oh, what do you got in there?
Coke, cane sugar, booger sugar.
Oh, it's so sad you didn't make that reference on the show.
I'll never get over that when we all said, when the Ghoul went, yeah, Coke cane, instead of, because they were using cane sugar.
Right.
And I didn't go, yeah,
brilliant.
booger sugar. Yeah. I can't believe I didn't go, yeah, booger sugar. How stupid. I'll never forgive myself.
You can always George Lucas it, man.
I actually considered it, but I did so much. I did the music, and I did the this, that, the other thing, and I just didn't want to go and find that part and cut into it and move everything from that part back. I just didn't want to do it. But yeah. So, yeah, guys, I had a good joke for Willy Wonka, and I missed out. I thought about it like 3 weeks later.
Such is life.
Yeah. So that's Clash of the Titans. Next week, we take another one of, I guess, just maybe Alex's Thanksgiving journeys to One-Eyed Willie's pirate ship. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking at a pirate ship and a weird guy with an eyeball at the middle of his face and a tuft of hair at the top of his cone head. We must be watching the Goonies.
It's them goobers.